Ghouls Podcast.
They're here.
Welcome to Blood, Gore, and Ghouls Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Van Ghoul. As we do each week, we'll be talking about horror movies, news, fun facts, and anything else horror-related that you'd like to hear about. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Blood, Gore, and Ghouls _podcast and send us an email at bloodgoreandghouls@gmail.com. Now, just like we have the past few weeks here, we have another special guest this week. He's a friend, a brother, and the co-host of Project Skeptic Podcast. Please welcome the Bumbeeno to the show.
Give me a hell yeah!
There we go.
Thank you.
I fucked it up. I hit the wrong button, but
I thought it was beautiful. I love it.
hell yeah.
I love it.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I just came back from the Penn State game.
Big old game.
The big old game.
Big old game.
Yeah. Beat that Indiana. You know what? Talk about blood, gore, and ghouls. That was pretty.
Was that it?
Yeah, we
Saw it in real life?
crushed it.
Oh.
Crushed it.
Nice.
Left it on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what we'll do here, we'll start off with a couple icebreakers.
Okay. I like that.
I kept it pretty basic.
Okay.
Not to call you basic, but you know.
Oh, that's fine. Thanks for having me.
As a casual movie watcher, you know.
Yeah.
So, what's the first horror movie that you remember ever seeing?
Oh, horror movie first ever. Probably It, right?
The miniseries, yeah.
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 Like It. Stephen King's It.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was it. Would you? That's horror,
You
right?
think
Or
was-
is it just?
Oh yeah, absolutely, it's horror.
Yeah. All right. Just make sure. I'm confused on what horror movie
Oh,
is.
we
specifically.
might get into it a little bit later. We'll
All
see.
right.
It's pretty subjective though. But yes, it very much horror.
I think that was. Yeah. That, to my recollection, that was the first one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you a fan?
I didn't mind it. I did not mind it.
Pretty okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm pretty okay with it. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, as a casual movie viewer, what's your favorite category of a horror movie? So, like, kind of like comedic, slasher, paranormal. You know, there's many different categories, but
Okay. I think I like, I don't know, like puzzle, like very puzzly, almost mystery
okay.
type of horror movies, I guess. And they all have that element, I suppose.
Some
They
more
are
than
mysterious,
others.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kind of like more like thriller type,
Yeah.
kind of in between.
and I like the ones nowadays anymore. Like I don't want to just watch like all this, things getting cut off people or anything.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Like that's fine. It's part of the story and
Right.
getting it across, But I do like some comedy elements in horror movies because it does lighten it up a little bit.
hmm
Maybe that's not what you want in a horror movie, but it's kind of fun. It's fun and entertaining
Yeah.
to me if it's in there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And just not in there to like sprinkle it in there, just when it's well done,
hmm
like a fine chili. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
When it's just done just right, the right spiciness.
I see what, yeah. Now I'm hungry for
Now
chili.
you're
Thank
hungry.
you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So, are there any types of horror movies that you would rather not watch or refuse to watch?
I don't know. I think I would watch any of them really. I might watch half of it. Like Cabin. What is it? Cabin Fever.
Cabin
I told
Fever.
you this already. My wife and I, we walked out of the movie theater because it just did
This
not
wasn't
pique
for
our
you. It
interest
was
at
not
all.
for you.
Not for me. It just Cabin in the Woods or whatever.
No, Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever. Yeah. It was in the woods though.
I mean, yeah, but Cabin in the Woods is a whole other movie.
All right.
That one has some comedy in it.
All
You
right,
probably
cool.
like it.
I don't know if I probably saw it. I just
might
don't
have.
remember it. Just cabins here, cabins there.
Well, there's a couple cabins.
There's all sorts of cabins.
So some cabins you like, some that you don't. You know,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
No, I just don't go in cabins anymore.
Oh, yeah. Fuck those cabins.
Yeah.
So some horror news from the past week here. So, some personal news. So we're kicking off Halloween week starting right now and celebrating 2 years of streaming on Twitch. So I'll be streaming some games, maybe some music, recording a special Halloween episode with Mrs. Ghoul on Halloween night. So stay tuned. Be sure to follow on Twitch at Ian Van Gool. And I do have I don't know. I can't think of the word, but I fucked up a bit on last week's show. So I said that the entire cast of Scream had been confirmed for Steel City Con, and turns out I was wrong. So Courtney Cox has not been confirmed for the con, and I also said last week that Roger Jackson was the only cast member to appear in all the Scream movies. That was also not true. Courtney Cox has also been in all of them, so I apologize for lying to all of you, and I'll try to never do it again. But yeah, that was my confession. Speaking of Steel City Con, though, Jason Patrick has been announced for it. So we have a mini Lost Boys reunion going on as well. So we have Jason, Kiefer Sutherland, and Alex Winter. So that's pretty cool. And they've also announced the headliner. So the past few that I've gone to has been Chevy Chase as the headliner. This year, it's Mr. Alec Baldwin, which, meh, for me. I think if it was the late 80s, early 90s Beetlejuice Alec Baldwin, I'd be pretty excited. At this point, though, I don't know, he has a reputation of being kind of a asshole. So, yeah, not too thrilled about that, but whatever. There's still a Scream reunion and a Lost Boys reunion. So, in other news, a sequel to 2022's The Black Phone has been announced. The first movie starred Ethan Hawke and was directed by Scott Derrickson. It was an adaptation of Joe Hill's short story of the same name and was a pretty big hit. So the sequel has been confirmed for release on June 27th, 2025. Now, no word yet if Derrickson is returning or any cast members are returning. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now, I love the first movie. It told the story that Joe Hill wrote. Now, if Joe Hill is writing or involved in the writing for the sequel, then I'll be all about it. But I feel like it's a movie that doesn't need a sequel. Have you seen The Black Phone?
No.
Okay.
Premise is a black phone.
Yeah.
Is it in the woods?
It is not in the woods.
Oh, all right.
The premise is Ethan Hawke is a child abductor. So he abducts a child, puts him in a basement, and there is a black phone in the basement.
Okay.
That the boy gets calls from, and he can talk to the previously abducted / murdered ghosts of those victims.
Whoa, okay. All right.
But so Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King. So he's also an author.
Okay.
And he's the one that wrote the story.
Huh.
So yeah.
It's pretty dark, man.
It is pretty dark.
Pretty dark.
It is, Stephen King family line, so
true.
it is pretty dark. But yeah, I really like the movie though. But again, it's not one that I ever expected or would want a sequel to. But like I said, if Joe Hill is involved in the writing and he's got more ideas, then I'll give it a shot. I'm all about it.
Try it, yeah.
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happens. I like it.
All right.
I mean, I don't like the
right.
abductions and all that.
Well, no. I would
hope
that not.
How do they call?
I don't know. Ghost phone?
It's a black phone. What if it was like a white phone? You think
I don't think the color of the phone is
I think
important.
it matters.
Does it?
Oh, I think it absolutely. It's symbolism at its finest.
I don't know.
Why does it have to be black? Because it's part of like the aesthetic of being evil, right? Like
maybe.
This
maybe
image of.
I don't know if the phone's not evil.
No, the phone, but if it was pink,
the pink phone.
It's a pink phone. Like
I
pink,
mean,
what?
I don't know. Maybe
that would be scarier.
It might be.
They did studies on this.
Yeah,
in prison.
In prison.
Yeah,
prison phone.
They painted half the prison pink.
Yeah,
and the other half like blue or light blue or something. All the pink side, they went fucking crazy. They went actually certifiably nuts. On the pink side,
it would be the opposite.
No, pink.
They couldn't handle it.
Pink drives people crazy.
Huh.
Like this,
you keep fucking with that.
I just keep messing with that thing,
and it's pink.
But just, I think having it be a black phone, I think it matters. I think they had to have it black. I bet they talked about this in the writing. They probably like.
You think I just missed it?
What? I missed what?
No, I missed it. Since I have read the book or read the story and watched the movie.
Oh, I don't know when they actually wrote
in the writer's room.
In the writing room. Writing room? I bet it was black too.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
You have to go in dark places to make this stuff up.
This is why I had you on, because your mind is just it's
Yeah.
so vast.
Oh,
You
is
think
it?
of,
Oh,
like,
yeah. I don't. It does make sense though. I think that phone had to be black though. It had to be.
all right. It might have.
I-
I couldn't tell you the reasoning, but sure.
Yeah. It's like on the president's table.
Yeah.
The red phone.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
He calls Batman on
These
the
are
red
the
phone.
bat. What is
The old
it?
Batman 66. The old bat phone. Yeah, I don't know. So we're just going to scrap the whole subject for this, and we're going to talk about the color of
No,
phones.
no, we're not. No, but I think it needed to be said.
All right.
All right.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm there with you, bud.
Black phone.
There we go. So my last piece of news for the week is some news from Terrifier 3. So it has been confirmed, and Art is getting in the holiday mood. Terrifier 3 is officially going to be a Christmas horror movie. So no other details have been announced yet, but Terrifier 2 is returning to theaters on November 1st, and there will be a 2+ minute teaser trailer for Terrifier 3 played before it. So I'm excited to see what kind of gruesomeness we get with a third installment in the franchise, and I'm pretty excited for a Christmas outing of Art the Clown. I'm assuming you have not seen Terrifier.
I have not.
Okay.
You said that was their what now?
That's the third movie.
Third. Okay.
So I don't have a picture of Art,
Terrifier.
but yeah, it's fairly newer within the past few years now. But it's a clown.
I just thought of another movie that's not a horror movie, but
Okay.
it's horrifying.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll say.
I'm saving it.
All right. Yeah.
All
Put
right.
that one in the
They
pocket.
just keep flooding in.
Well,
man.
you know, that's what happens.
Jeez.
That's what happens.
You said Terrifier. I'm like, oh.
A
Oh.
little light bulb went off.
Yeah, it did.
Bing.
Sure did.
Well, that happens.
Mm-hmm. Was it good? Did you? No, it hasn't come out yet. 3.
Well, the 3 hasn't come out yet. So the first Terrifier, I'm not really a fan.
Okay.
Second, Terrifier 2 is ridiculous, and I loved it.
Hmm.
It's very, very gruesome.
Okay.
There's not much in the way of a story. It's just blood, gore, and insanity.
It's like a Jeepers Creepers kind of thing.
Oh, it's way.
Is it way gorier?
Yeah.
All right.
Jeepers Creepers is like mild compared to
Okay.
Terrifier.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's all I got for news. So we're going to get right into the main topic here. So horror is pretty subjective overall, and people like to argue over what's horror, what's not horror. What I find scary is probably different from what you find scary, and vice versa. We all have different tastes, different terror thresholds, and different experiences. So tonight, we thought it'd be cool to look at some terrifying scenes that appear in non-horror movies. So I scoured the internet for different lists, opinions, and input, and I came across a list from WatchMojo.com. Now, they made a top 20 list of scariest scenes from non-horror movies, and for the most part, a lot of these were on every list that I could find. I also included most of the ones that came to mind when I thought about the topic. So we'll go over each of these on this list. Also, I have a few that were not on the list that I could think of, and you do as well. So we'll get into it, but we'll go over their top 20 list here first and get into that. So I've seen most of these, not all though. So their number 20 was from Parasite, which I have not seen. Have you seen Parasite? It
sounds familiar. I might have.
It was like the Oscar winner in 2019. It won like the Best Picture Oscar.
So basically,
like Korean or some sort of Asian film.
Probably not. Even if I saw a trailer, I would tell you if I saw it. But the name does sound familiar.
Mhm.
I've heard of the name Parasite.
Okay.
Being a movie, so that was not horror.
No, I've seen it labeled as horror. I've also seen it labeled as comedy, as drama. I haven't watched it, so I don't know exactly what it is. But
what do they do? I mean,
I don't know. I couldn't
when they
tell you
say
anything
that's a
about it.
horror and that's not.
Oh, as far as yeah, that's what I mean. It's subjective. So like,
right.
No one's going to argue that Scream or Friday the 13th or any of those movies aren't horror.
Okay.
But there's like, gray areas. So like there's like thrillers like Seven or Silence of the Lambs. I think I call them horror movies because they're they have very much a lot of horror aspects to them. A lot of other people though, would argue that they're not. They're thrillers. They're not horror movies. So it's all in kind of what it's kind of up to the individual to say if that's a horror movie to them or not. I also like to look at, like, I'll look on like IMDb, and they'll have like, list what genre.
Okay.
So if it says horror in there,
then it's a horror.
Yeah.
We're not going to make two bones about it, are we?
That's right.
Oh,
no two bones about it.
Two bones about it.
But yeah, I mean, it's subjective. It's whatever you think. So,
got it.
That's
so
what I go with.
I could say, some movie that I thought was terrifying or horrific, and it's labeled as like PG.
Oh yeah, the rating doesn't.
Well, I get it. Is there a horror movie that's PG? Probably not.
Jaws.
Is it? That's horror?
Yeah. Jaws is considered. It's on the horror poster right there.
There's a PG horror.
Poltergeist is PG.
Oh.
It's because PG-13 wasn't around yet.
Okay.
But yes.
I'm like, no way. What about I was thinking of the Friday the 13th. Was that PG? Nowhere near PG.
No. Those are all R.
Did that have so the first when we talked about this Friday the 13th or which one was first?
Friday the 13th.
That might have been my first one then.
Okay.
I might have.
There's a 10-year difference there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Friday the 13th was
well, it
1980.
doesn't mean I'd watch. Like you can watch it.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter when it was released. It's just what you.
But I feel like I would have watched that first.
Maybe.
And then they were both.
Yeah.
It's had their own thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't walk over grates anymore. or sleep at all ever.
or ever sleep. But yeah, so Parasite, we're going to skip that one because I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. So,
All right, skip it.
So number 19 for them is Jumanji.
Okay.
So each one has a little paragraph. So I'll read that and we'll give our own thoughts. So as far as Jumanji, many family films have been considered unsuitable and disturbing for children, but none flows like a horror movie for kids quite like Jumanji. The intense 90s adventure classic follows Robin Williams as a man who gets sucked into a sadistic board game, literally. In a world where creatures come to life with every roll of the dice, most memorable is when the children land on the wrong spot and suddenly attacked by a lion. Featuring one of the game's many man-eating creatures, this scene had us checking our closet for years to come. So theirs is the lion. I thought it would have been like the spiders.
I was thinking entirely something way different of why it was horrific.
Go for it.
Getting time stolen away from you.
Okay.
That's horrifying.
I mean, it is, yes.
That's what's horrifying to me.
I mean, yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
He was also in we never saw the world that he was in that movie.
Right.
So, it was, I always assumed some sort of jungle land. So,
must have
being
been
stuck in there for 30 years or
right.
whatever it is. Yeah. That's definitely terrifying.
Yep.
But yeah, the lion in real life would be terrifying. But
True.
As far as that movie, I thought the spiders, because he's stuck in the floor and then the spiders all crawling around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Or when the kid started turning into a monkey.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it had some humor. But
it was terrifying when his tail was stuck in his pants.
Yeah.
Because that would hurt.
It would hurt.
Yeah. No one wants their tail stuck in their pants.
Yeah. I don't know. Never had. I can imagine.
Never had a tail.
Never had a tail.
Never had a tail. So number 18
keep it in your pants, man.
is Return to Oz. So L. Frank Baum's universe is no stranger to disturbing imagery geared towards children. This fantasy adventure follows Dorothy as she finds her way back to Oz, only to find it in tatters. In one part of the deserted land, Dorothy runs into the Wheelers, characters who have wheels for limbs and carry creepy masks reminiscent of the Wicked Witch's flying monkeys. As if the cabinets of disembodied heads the princess keeps, and all of Dorothy's friends being turned to stone wasn't enough, 80s kids also know to beware the Wheelers because of this flick. So I don't think I've ever actually watched this in its entirety, but I've definitely seen clips, so I know what they're talking about with the Wheelers.
Mm.
Are you familiar with Return to Oz?
The Follow the Yellow Brick Road?
That's Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
Return to Oz is a whole other film.
Is it?
Is where they return to Oz.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
Just in case you didn't know. It's not the same
I
film.
would think the horrifying thing there was the house that falls on the
Wizard
witch.
of Oz.
Yeah.
Well, we might get to that.
No,
that might be this list. I'm not sure.
I'm sure
if you were the witch, it might be horrifying.
Yeah, right. It's a matter of perspective.
Right.
You said subjective. It's also perspective.
You're right.
Yeah. I don't think there's any wrong answers here.
There's not.
There really
isn't. No.
There really is not.
Because we would never be wrong.
I mean, it's all opinion.
No. Yeah, it really is.
This is all opinion.
This whole podcast is opinion.
Well, except for the stuff you said at the beginning. That was news and
facts.
exciting and facts.
Facts.
Those are facts.
Those are facts.
Yep.
But no, I mean, as far as what you're saying though, yeah, I mean that's kind of my argument for like the kind of serial killer thriller type movies, like Seven and Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is a franchise at this point. So people argue Silence of the Lambs is not a horror movie, but then the sequel Hannibal is a horror movie. The only difference is we follow Clarice in Silence of the Lambs and not Hannibal. And in Hannibal, we follow Hannibal.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're from the viewpoint of the killer, then it's a horror movie. If we're from the viewpoint of the police or detective or whoever, then maybe it's not a horror movie.
It's a murder mystery.
Murder mystery, yes. So it's all in like how you see it, but
yeah,
that's like the one thing that always stands out to me.
Okay.
Even though it's like, it's the same subject matter.
Yes.
But it's all in which point of view. So
what about there's a series called Happy?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
I've seen some of it, yeah.
The insane guy that abducts the kid.
Right.
Like he's a little horrific. Right. But the series isn't like horror.
Right.
There is some probably got, gore and
oh yeah. It's pretty
It's got some stuff. It's got some stuff.
There's some stuff there.
I like this series. I thought Happy was good.
Yeah, I don't know why I never finished it, but I did.
Oh, you never
started
finished it?
Yeah.
Shame.
But I mean, it's based on like a 4 issue comic book. So I've read that. So I'm familiar with it. I just didn't finish the show.
Did you have a imaginary friend as a kid?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of them. I was the only child, so like I had to find ways to keep myself.
They're probably
busy.
Somewhere else snorting coke or something. Kind of like in the show.
Mine, yeah.
Well, everybody's because everyone just like abandons them. Poor imaginary friends.
You know?
I don't know. Somebody told me. I don't know. Again, none of this matters.
Yeah.
It does matter. I liked the idea of Happy, the whole series.
Yeah.
And
it's a good.
And they had a lot of funny parts. See, like the sprinkling and doing it right, like that's good.
You enjoy the comic relief.
I also like the the thrill of it all.
Right, but it's nice to have it all in one.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
Yes, nicely packaged. Just waiting for me to just watch it.
There's a dirty joke in there, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Just a package.
Yes,
something about packages.
Just waiting for it to.
Just waiting for it.
Number 17 is Fantasia.
Number 17, Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Not what I said. What I think of Never Ending Story.
Oh yeah, different movie.
Never Ending.
Different movie.
Which was also horrifying. There was a scene.
There is. We might come to that later.
All right.
Right now it's Fantasia time.
Fantasia. Go.
Many grew up thinking this experimental and one-of-a-kind animated classic was for kids. And although some parts are curiously strange confirmation that this wasn't your typical Disney fare came with its final sequence. Animators took the already frightening Mussorgsky composition, Night on Bald Mountain, and invented even more terrifying imagery to put behind it. We follow the devil Chernabog as he summons demons, ghosts, and witches in an orgy of madness and celebration. Although the classical music and animation are fascinating and have captivated audiences for the better part of a century, the subject matter will always be the stuff of nightmares. So yeah, I mean, this is like anytime anyone has says Fantasia like fucked them up as a kid, it's usually that scene.
That scene right there.
Yeah, I like it. I like that scene.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I honestly do not remember much of the Fantasia. I'm just thinking of the mouse, right? Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, doesn't he have like a wand or something?
Yeah, he's like a wizard.
He's like a wizard.
He's a wizard.
Mouse. What was the name? Mouse.
What? Mickey?
No. You.
Oh, did I close
You
it
read
on
it. You read it. It was like a name. Mouse.
this guy.
Yeah.
Musword. No, not that one.
No.
Where's the other one?
I don't know.
Chernabog is the devil.
Chernabog.
Mussorgsky. There's not enough vowels in there, but yeah, that was the composer.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't remember anything.
It could have
about
been
that
that
movie
bad because I
other
don't freaking
than
remember it.
that. Yeah. Well,
Did
there
it?
you go.
Did it like? Is this what made you want to see more horror stuff?
Fantasia? No.
Like, is that how you went? How did you get into horror? Like, what did you do?
I got into horror very young because my grandmother on my dad's side loved horror movies, and she lived in New York. So I didn't go there often, but like once a year we'd go visit, and she was always watching horror movies. So like the earliest horror movies I remember seeing is like Hellraiser 2 and like The Fly, like really gory like visuals, like really like I don't know, fucked up shit that I like that stuck in my mind.
All right.
So seeing it like that young, that shit stuck with me. And then obviously I couldn't watch them at home. So like once I kind of got to the age where I could either sneak it or watch it at friend's house or kind of do my own thing, I kind of checked everything out, like kind of got caught up.
Okay.
And then it's been game over ever since.
It's just nonstop.
Just ran with it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry you had to sneak it in. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
It is.
How it goes. So number 16 is The Godfather. So as one of the wow, I can't read. One of the most celebrated crime thrillers of all time, The Godfather has its fair share of unnerving scenes. This is no small part thanks to Vito Corleone's manner of taking care of business. When studio head Jack Woltz refuses to give Vito's godson, singer Johnny Fontaine, a shot at the big time, the crime family takes their anger out on Woltz's prize stallion. He wakes up to find his sheets soaked in blood and a surprise inside. This unforgettable and shocking scene builds up to an unexpected climax we won't soon forget, and neither will poor Jack. So, of course, that's the head, the horse head in the bed.
In bed.
Horse head in the bed.
I think you, with that mentality, any movie that has Old Yeller, for God's sake, I mean, any animal that dies or gets murdered,
right?
Horrific.
Yeah.
Maybe different levels of it, but
right.
That was a very famous scene, though.
Yeah, might be the most famous in that movie.
Probably, maybe.
Horse head in the bed.
Horse head in the bed. Gets me every time.
Yep, every time.
What if you woke up to a horse head?
First, I'll be like, "Where the fuck did this horse come from?"
Yeah,
and why is its head in my bed?
Those are two good questions.
And then I would promptly stick it on the wall.
So stick it on the wall.
Have it.
Somebody gifted me a horse head.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be weird. That'd be.
It's extremely bizarre, but
be very confused.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I don't know why anybody would do that, but
I don't know. The mob, man.
The mob.
Freaking
mob does what the mob does.
That's right.
Yeah.
Horse head's in bed.
It's a poor horse. I mean, come on. What'd the horse do?
I know. Well,
what the horse do?
They had to send a message. Unfortunately, the horse didn't have a say.
It's rude.
Yeah. You're right.
It is. Horrific.
Number 15 is The Wizard of Oz.
There it is.
The Wizard of Oz.
Okay. All right.
For all the magic and musical glee in this timeless classic, there are just as many bizarre and startling moments. With her ghastly visage and shrill voice, the Wicked Witch is one of the 20th century's most memorable villains. Her entrances.
Her entrances?
Yes, that word. Her entrances were as unexpected as they were terrifying, whether in Munchkin Land or inside her crystal ball. It's difficult to pick just one scary scene, but our childhood nightmares include her commanding her army of flying monkeys and setting poor Scarecrow on fire. Even her death scene is somehow terrifying, with her body melting and her shrieks filling the castle.
What was I thought she died like her feet.
That was her
rolled up.
sister.
Oh, okay.
That's why she showed up.
Oh,
They dropped a
yeah.
house on her sister.
Yeah, they did. Not on purpose,
Well,
but
when you're a Wicked Witch,
I know.
I don't think it really matters.
Probably deserved it.
Probably.
When did they get the title Wicked? You think?
Oh, like the musical? Or
No,
you just mean
no, just like as a character in the timeline of her upbringing, their upbringing,
I
being
see what
called
you're saying.
the Wicked Witch.
I don't know.
Did something, happen that she turned wicked?
I don't know.
You know?
I think there's a movie about that. I didn't watch it though.
She probably was a reasonable person that was forced to do unreasonable things. Kind of like Killdozer.
Kind of like, you always find a way to bring Killdozer into it.
We do.
That.
We do. We really do.
Kind of like Killdozer.
It's kind of like Wicked Witch is kind of like Killdozer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that was some parts. I don't remember it being that horrifying. I don't think number what was it, 15?
15.
All right. That could have been 20, I think.
Or yeah, I mean, I don't
21.
know if these are in like
they're not
order like that, but I mean, maybe I don't know.
I
didn't look that far into it.
This is somebody's
regardless,
top 20.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Wizard of Oz could be, I guess. I mean, a lot of these so far on this list, though, other than The Godfather, it's like scary for children.
Okay.
Like in every paragraph, it says something about like children.
All
so
right.
I mean, from a child standpoint, sure.
All right.
Flying monkeys and things going up in fire.
I could get behind the Jumanji thing.
Yeah.
Like I said,
yeah,
it's getting time taken away from me.
Yeah, as an adult now, yeah, it's the scariest part.
That's pretty scary.
Time's a ticking.
Time is a ticking.
So number 14 is Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Classic.
So we move from one megalomaniac villain to another as we visit Roger Rabbit's fearsome foe. A sworn enemy of all tunes, Judge Doom sadistically hunts and disposes of them using his dreaded dip. But in the film's finale that he does his worst. After being flattened into a pancake by a steamroller, Doom eerily rises to life, inflating himself until, well, this. A helium-fueled half-man, half-tune. His grotesque transformation turns an already menacing character into an outstanding screen oddity. Those burning red eyes, that high squeaky voice, Doom is truly nightmare fuel.
It is true. I would say now looking at it, it's not that horrifying, but I do recall the high pitched sound, and every time I see him, I just want to be like, him in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah,
like
Doc Brown.
Yeah, gigawatts or whatever he says.
Flux capacitor. But yeah, I mean that scene is one that stands out.
Yeah,
Roger Rabbit for sure.
I think it's a good choice.
Cartoon eyes popping out. I guess I think he pops his like real quote unquote eyes out.
Yeah,
and then the cartoon eyes come in.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean it's again, I as a child seeing it, might be a little scarred from it for a bit.
I bet the first time you ever watched it and you had no idea how the show was, it probably had some fear factor into it.
Oh shit moment.
Yeah, like, oh my god, he was a tune all this time.
Like what?
I know.
What a twist. And then he dips the shoe in the
Speaking of shoes, he freaking dips the Hokas right in there.
Damn it.
I don't know if they were
Horseshoe.
Hokas.
I don't know.
They were probably like,
I mean, it was just one shoe. So there's another shoe out there somewhere.
That's horrifying.
That is.
That's horrifying.
That's the most horrifying.
Freaking one shoe.
Damn it.
There's horror in comedy, I tell you.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
So 13 is Pinocchio.
Okay. Which one?
Pinocchio.
Well, the animated
cartoon,
Pinocchio?
Yeah.
Or...
1940. The 1940 classic.
Oh, my God.
Right?
All right.
So, I don't know. I'll just read the thing. Of Disney's many traumatizing scenes, none is scarier than Pinocchio's Pleasure Island trip. That right there just sounds scary. Newly transformed into a real boy, Pinocchio finds all sorts of amusement, but there's a downside. Delinquents on the island eventually turn into donkeys and are used for back-breaking labor. Who expected a charming tale about a wooden boy to devolve into child slavery and human trafficking? Pinocchio escapes, but his friend Lampwick isn't so lucky. A morality tale for the ages, this story scared an infinite number of kids straight with Lampwick's panicked meltdown. So I don't remember much about Pinocchio.
I don't.
Other than his nose growing when he lies.
That and he's got no strings to hold him down.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I vaguely remember that scene, but not much. But that description, yeah. I don't know how terrifying it is in the actual cartoon, but the overall story of it sounds pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. Honestly, I'm trying to, and I like the latest, like the not animated one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think there was like
there's
any
a lot of them
horrifying in that one. I don't remember. I don't think it was horrifying.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't watched. I think the last Pinocchio movie I watched was the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas in it from like the 90s. I don't think they had Pleasure Island in that one.
Where the hell what is this Pleasure? I don't remember Pleasure Island in Pinocchio.
I don't think they've put it in like anything since that. But yeah, it's Pleasure Island.
Isn't that like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Pinocchio, like, wasn't there a whale or something in Pinocchio?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
That was horrifying. Why not that? Why not that scene?
Well, must not be as scary as Pleasure Island.
I mean,
so
sounds amazing.
I don't know.
Sounds like a fun place.
I don't know. I mean, depends on what you're looking for.
I'm looking for an island.
When it comes to this subject matter, not so much.
All right.
When you're looking at consenting adults at Pleasure Island, then yes, absolutely. But not what this is.
No, it wasn't that.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good. So number 12 is Pan's Labyrinth. Now, I already consider Pan's Labyrinth a horror movie. It's, Guillermo del Toro. He has done a lot of things in the horror genre. And this one, if anything, if we're breaking it down, would be like a dark fantasy movie. And there's a lot of horror elements to it. So it's just, it's literally the Pale Man, which obviously it's terrifying.
I pronounce it differently.
Who? What?
The creator, the producer.
Guillermo?
Yeah, I always call him Guillermo.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't know if it's Guillermo.
I don't know which one it is.
I think it's Guillermo. I'm going to say it the way I say it, and you can say it the way you say it.
Tomato.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm gonna say it's Guillermo.
It might be.
Almost like Jeremy.
Okay, yeah.
Guillermo.
Just like Jeremy.
It's like, it rolls off the tongue like Jeremy.
Guillermo. I don't know. Maybe if he reaches out, we'll ask him.
Yeah, well, Guillermo.
Friend of the show.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Could you please clear this up for us?
Yeah, let us know. Send us an email.
How do you pronounce your name?
If you know the correct pronunciation, send us an email.
Yeah.
bloodgoreandgoldspodcast@gmail.com.
Make it like syllables. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah, absolutely. You're going to have to
phonetically spell it.
We're going to need it as detailed as possible in the simplest form.
Maybe like a sound bite too in there.
Oh, yeah.
To even like say it.
Right. That would be, be helpful.
And a PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
We'd greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Ghoulies.
Thanks so much. So number 11 is Train Spotting. So you haven't
never seen. I don't know what
you
this
haven't
is.
seen Train Spotting. No. So let's see here. So Danny Boyle's black comedy crime flick horrified audiences when it showed a drug addict's infant daughter dying of neglect. Spoilers. However, Renton's subsequent nightmare while going through withdrawal is what really left mark on horror history. In a soul-wrenching scene, the baby's deformed and bloated corpse appears crawling on the ceiling and performing an exorcist-like head spin, all set to a pulsating techno beat. Given the baby's tragic demise, it's a serious gut punch. Added to the gross-out visuals, it's a nightmare not easily forgotten. So when I was researching this, that was one of the ones that I automatically thought of, and it just so happened to be in this list. But yeah, there's obviously, like I just said, there's a scene where I think the baby gets into the drugs, passes, and then they're all fucked up on drugs, and one of the characters sees the baby literally crawling on the ceiling, and then its head does a whole like 180 twist.
Do you think it was like a hallucination because of the drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
Between like drugs, grief, all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the whole movie's fucked up because of the subject matter, but it's a pretty fucked up scene for sure.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch. I don't want to see any like that. I have no desire to see like babies.
Well, no, absolutely not. I mean, it's like I said, the whole movie's fucked. It's a pretty dark movie.
Trainspotting.
That scene is just one scene. It doesn't like dwell on that. But yeah, that is it's pretty rough.
It is rough. That's a rough one
for sure.
Very horrifying.
So number 10 is Joker.
Oh.
The Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Joaquin.
So it says Heath Ledger's Joker chilled us to the bone with his stories about his scars, but we had to give this spot to Joaquin Phoenix's Arthur Fleck, specifically his appearance on Live with Murray Franklin opposite Robert De Niro. Now, you've seen this movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the talk show host sees an opportunity to score a few more laughs at Arthur's expense, but once his guest starts telling some of his quote-unquote jokes, Murray realizes just how unstable Fleck is. Because we've already seen Arthur commit one murder, the suspense is palpable, and sure enough, he's prepared one last joke. The building tension, gritty realism, and sense of panic amount to a downright disturbing sequence. So, I get what they're saying, but I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a horror. I mean, it's horrific if to see that in real life, but like in the movie world, I feel like there's much more horror things in like Batman Begins and Dark Knight. And
what's funny, based on the description you gave earlier on what a horror film typically, why they call it on the horror side is because it's from the perspective of the villain or whatever you want to call him. So that's what Joker was, right? It was a snapshot into his life and his actions, and they didn't call it a horror. Yeah. So why?
Well,
because it had comedy in it.
No, I think it's all in. I don't know what I guess the subject matter. I mean, even though it is a dude kind of spiraling into madness and crime, but it's more of a, I don't know. With that one's more like a drama, crime, maybe kind of thriller. But
I think everybody knows like the Superman villain, Marvel. You know what I mean? Like realm. Oh, geez,
smashing shit.
I did.
Good job.
No, wait, is Joker Marvel?
Joker's DC.
DC, thank
Batman.
you. Sorry. Yes. So like this whole universe, DC, they know Joker, and I mean, is any of that horrific? I don't know.
I mean,
it got more graphic, I would say.
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more gritty than
most
of the other movies.
See, like some scenes in that are pretty scary. Like I don't know if it was Joaquin's, but maybe it was Heath. It was like with the pencil or something.
Magic trick.
Yeah.
I mean, that was on some of the other lists that I saw. Okay. Was the pencil.
That was Heath, right?
Yeah, that
wasn't one. Okay, yeah.
No, that was Heath. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some aspects, but I don't. Like I said, with this one, like I said, I mean, if you're sitting in the audience and that happens, then yeah, sure, that would be horrific.
That's true.
But
I'm
yeah.
sure there's other.
Yeah.
But Sweet Tooth is way better. Way better clown. Way more horrific. That's what I'm saying.
That's like your opinion, man.
That's like your opinion, man.
Number 9, one we can all agree on.
All right.
Is Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So how can a film with such childish glee and comedy scarce? Oh, I can't fucking read, dude.
I can't see.
I gotta just shut it off. We're done.
Is it on here? No.
Done with it. Let me start over. So how can a film with such childish glee and comedy scare the pants off people? When Pee-wee goes cross-country to find his stolen bicycle, he meets many bizarre characters, but none as strange as Large Marge. When the trucker picks him up on the highway, she decides to casually share a story about a violent accident she witnessed. With Pee-wee sensing that something is off, Marge gives us a jump scare for the ages. Although this scene seemed to come out of nowhere, we would later learn to love it as a Tim Burton signature. So yeah, Large Marge is
What happened? What was the? Do you remember? I don't.
Oh
remember.
yeah.
I don't remember Large Marge.
So Pee-wee's hitchhiking.
Okay.
Large Marge picks him up in her big semi, and she tells the story of
there's spoilers
someone
in all this, guys. So
oh
if you
yeah,
ever,
but I mean these are all older movies.
maybe we should say that at the beginning.
I typically do. I didn't this time, so
Okay.
spoiler alert. There's not a spoiler alert. But yeah, so she picks him up.
Horrifying.
She tells him a story about someone dying on the road, and then she drops him off, and then out of nowhere, she just turns to him, and her face becomes like animated, and it's this real like horrific looking face.
Really?
Yeah, just out of nowhere. It's
Why?
like it's a very very like Tim Burton looking face.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the whole movie is comedy. It's Pee-wee, and then out of nowhere is just this like jump scare.
Like a clay, like almost like a claymation kind of animation.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what. I think it's clay. I think they use clay. Don't they?
They might use.
Isn't that what Tim does? It's like a very claymation kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't remember Large Marge.
Large
but
Marge.
It sounds. I would say that is pretty.
Yeah, because it's just out of like you would never expect it. It's just out of nowhere. Like watching it now, it's funny.
Kind of funny,
but
you know it's coming.
But yeah, seeing it like for the first time, terrifying. Large Marge.
There's like a element of surprise to horror.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Get you when you least expect it. So number 8 is No Country for Old Men, which there could be multiple different scenes for this one. But
you've seen it? I never even heard of it.
You've never seen No Country for Old Men?
I don't think so.
Oh, we need to skip it then. You need to watch it.
Yeah, skip it.
But yeah, there's a few scenes in there that would be
right.
Yeah. So number 7 is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
Again, there could be numerous things in this too. This one, so all the other lists they gave what's his name? Bilbo. When he reaches for the ring initially and his face goes all like scary looking. They had that on the list.
Really?
Because his face like transforms into like a real evil looking Bilbo.
See, I was gonna on a different aspect of it, like when what's his name, Smeagol, got consumed by it. That to me is so horrifying.
That was on a list too. That was from Return of the King. This one's from Fellowship of the Ring.
I mean,
yeah,
it's all the way from back from Hobbit. It's all the way back from in the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like with like fantasy movies, there's definitely a lot of horror aspects.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one is saying like the ring race, which I agree.
Oh, the
Black Riders.
Yeah.
They're my favorite part. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the movies, but they're my favorite part for sure.
Those are kings that died, right?
Something like that. Yeah,
that's the story of it.
Something like that.
I think they're all kings.
Dead kings. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's that. There's like a giant spider that wraps up Frodo.
That's horrifying.
There's the orcs.
Yes,
they're pretty monster-ish.
Yep.
So
I think they're scary. I don't know if they're horror. I mean, if they were real, then yes, they would be horrifying.
Well, yeah,
but
kind of scary, horrifying.
Are they the same?
On now.
Do you use them synonymously?
Yes.
So why don't they call horror movies scary movies?
They do.
Well, not in the
What do you
title.
mean?
Not they don't say
Horror is the
They don't-
genre. Scary is the adjective.
horror is an adjective too.
You're a horror.
You're a horror. I want to watch a scary movie.
Okay.
It's not horror. Horror movie.
What?
I'm saying that's an important distinction. I think I think they are different.
Okay.
Isn't horror just like a level above scary?
I've never thought of it that way, but maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean you never thought of it that way?
I don't.
How do you not think of this?
It's all the same to me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Scary
Okay.
movies.
Scary
horror movies.
horror.
They're
I
all
have.
the same.
I just think horror is just a little above scary.
I could.
I think horror sticks with you a little bit longer.
Okay. And then
Scary
it's-
is just like
then terrifying is above that.
Terrifying. I don't know. Terrifying seems to be longer than a scare. Right?
Okay.
When you are terrified,
Mm-hmm.
how long does it last?
Couple minutes, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
Could be more, could be longer.
Could be longer. Could be
Right.
shorter.
Like, but if you're horrified,
Yeah.
how long are you horrified?
Couple days.
So see where I'm getting with this?
I have no idea.
I'm just saying that the longer you are in this state
Yeah.
of mind, I think that should be like the level of, I don't know, that's where my head goes, is like scary, maybe terrified, maybe horrified after that.
That was pretty scary.
That was pretty scary. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, right.
Probably just a scare though. You know? It was scary.
Where's thrilling? Below all that. Because that could be good or
Thrilling.
bad.
I don't know. I know. We could. There is a hierarchy here. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm thinking that there's a hierarchy. I don't know. We're going to talk to some experts about this.
If you know the hierarchy, send us an email.
Yeah, like the
Blood, Gore, and
hierarchy
Goals
of
podcast at gmail.com.
fear, emotions, and stuff. Don't forget the and stuff.
And stuff.
What were we on?
Number 6, but I haven't seen it. Mulholland Drive.
Uh,
I haven't seen it.
I'm
So
gonna skip it.
we're going to skip it. Number 5, The Temple of Doom.
Oh yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That was always my favorite
Perfect.
growing up.
Yeah.
Temple of Doom.
Great.
At this point, I'm not going to read the paragraphs.
No, I don't think we should.
No. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
So obviously it's the heart scene from Temple of Doom.
Okay.
Takes the heart out from the outside.
He does, and the
Yeah.
guy's still alive.
He's still alive, yeah. Terrifying. Horrifying.
That is
Brutal.
horrifying.
All of it.
All of it.
All
Every
the
bit of it. I was
adjectives.
scared the whole time. Terrified,
Yeah, it
horrified.
sticks with you.
And I still think about it.
Yeah. From time to time.
Was that in another movie? Somebody punched their,
Well,
was it Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat or something?
you're probably thinking of Dumb and Dumber. The dream sequence. But yes.
Horrifying.
Yeah. Yes. He does rip the guy's heart out and put it in a to-go bag. Yes. Yes.
To go bag.
To-go bag. Doggy bag. But yeah. Temple of Doom. Terrifying.
Not a horror movie though.
Not a horror movie.
Nope.
Adventure.
Adventure.
Action.
Yeah.
Romance.
Yes. All of those things. All those things. See? But what a great movie.
Yeah.
What a great movie. It needed all those elements to make it great, I think.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford.
And Harrison Ford.
And
of
Harrison
course.
Ford, of course.
So number 4 is Jurassic Park.
Okay.
T-Rex. It's loose.
When?
Where's the goat? Where's the goat?
Where's the goat?
Where's the goat?
See, that is almost horrifying to me.
The
more
most
like-
terrifying part of that movie?
Terrifying, yeah.
Getting killed while on the shitter.
Horrified. Horrified. I just seeing him sitting on the John there,
Yeah.
looking up at this freaking
Like, what are you going to do? Nothing.
nothing.
You just
Nothing.
got to watch it happen.
Probably reach for some TP
Well.
at that point.
I mean, what's the point?
I don't know. Just just to yeah.
But yeah, no, it's another one. Like it's not. I mean, I watched it as a kid. I actually saw it in theaters.
Same.
Remember? I don't. It wasn't scary per
Mm-hmm.
se to me even then, but it's one of those like put yourself in that situation and absolutely like T-Rex is trying to fucking eat you out of a car.
Just in general, I think it is horrifying. Just being in a park filled with dinosaurs that are loose, like that to me is just chaos, and chaos can lead to a lot of that horror.
I mean, if they're all herbivores, cool. It's a whole other movie. But carnivores, you're fucked.
Yes, exactly. And there's a lot of those on that island, which was filmed in Hawaii.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Did you know that?
No. Fun fact.
It's fun fact.
Fun fact. You're full of them.
Thanks.
Number 3, I've never seen. Lost Highway.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Nope. Skip it.
Skip it.
Number 2. Number 2 is usually the number 1 list, or number 1 on all these lists.
Okay.
Number 2, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Nice.
The tunnel scene, obviously.
Remind me, the tunnel scene.
They're on a boat in the Chocolate River.
Yes.
They go in the tunnel. Willy Wonka goes a little mad. It has all the like flashy lights and shit swirling around.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I. But he has like a whole monologue, and Gene Wilder gets a little crazy.
But I don't remember. It's one that stands out. I could see why they have Willy Wonka on there because I think it's a bit.
Yeah, it's the whole visual of it is really what does it.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Thanks, webpage.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like living in a house with with everybody in the same bed, basically.
Well,
that's pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's horrifying, but it's some people can't help it. That's what they have to do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
It's a close family, though.
Yeah.
Which is.
I mean, there's a lot. If we're gonna break it down, there's a lot of horrifying things in that movie.
There is.
So that.
Yeah.
Then what happens to each kid, whether they deserved it or not. But.
Oh well. Yeah, the moral of that story, right?
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be a little brat.
Yeah.
Basically.
Fuck those kids.
I don't know. What would you have done?
Go for it
if you had the golden ticket.
Go for it all.
Go for it all.
I would have just been there to, hang out with Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Behave myself. Model citizen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Did you see the Family Guy rendition of Willy Wonka?
I had. Yes. The Pawtucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Well done.
Oh, yeah. Well done.
Not horrifying at all.
No. So they have a couple honorable mentions before we get to number 1.
All right.
So the bear attack in The Revenant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a bear attack. It would be, again, in that situation, absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying.
Watching it, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. You can see that.
X-Men, the first X-Men movie, a slippery death. So the dude that kind of melts away, he liquefies away. It's like I forget who it is. I could see him, but I can't think of the character.
Okay.
But he's I think a politician or some shit. But yeah, they turn him into a mutant, and he's like the guy that's like very anti-mutant. So they turn him into a mutant, and then he like liquefies. And
yes.
So yeah.
Very true. I do recall that. Yes.
And then The Road, which the Road's like a post-apocalyptic movie.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole thing's pretty much terrifying.
Yep.
So number 1 on this list is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Of course, the infamous face melting.
Yes.
Terrifying.
It's very terrifying. Again, you're getting time stolen away from you. This guy lived a long time. Is that what happened?
No.
I'm thinking of the Lost Ark or something. What was the night? What was a night in the chamber? Why isn't that horrifying?
I don't know.
Like that guy lived, I don't know how many hundreds of years.
Was he immortal?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
You want to live forever? Starship Troopers? I didn't mean to say it that way.
Talk about horror.
Talk about horror.
Damn it.
Jeez, there's another one.
So like I was saying, face melting.
Melt face guy.
So they open the Ark. The Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of Covenant.
And all the things, all the ghouls come out, and then their faces melt off. Because they look at it.
Wait, the ghouls melt out? Like, I don't think there were ghouls, were
there was like, I don't know, ghosty things that pop out.
I thought it was because what they were seeing.
Yes.
That's why so divine.
Indiana Jones close his eyes.
Yeah.
And his female companion. They close their eyes. They don't look.
That's right.
So the people that are looking,
divine things.
Their faces melt.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yes.
No one saw it coming.
I thought something would happen if you went and opened that box.
Yeah, your face will melt. Moral of that story.
Just
don't
Pandora's
open
box
boxes
alone.
like that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Why is my
number
frames
one
all
is
fucked up?
I don't know. They could be ordered a little different, maybe.
Like I said, I don't think it's like a
They
just
that one.
had them all and they put them in there and they numbered them. I don't think it was like a top 10 of from 10 to 1 is
There's a lot of non-horror movies there that have horrific things going on.
Horrific. You're right. So do you want to give your list?
It's short and sweet.
So am I.
Kind of like, yeah. Let's say you. All right. In no order of like criticality here, okay?
You sure?
Pretty sure. But Saving Private Ryan. Not a horror movie.
No.
Based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think just raises that horrifying element to it. Going on to the D-Day beach.
Absolutely.
Gotta be, I mean, and the scenes in it are probably accurate too.
I believe, they're pretty accurate.
They're pretty fucking accurate of how it went down.
Yeah, not a horror movie, but yeah, that scene's intense.
It's very intense.
I mean, that whole movie's intense, but
yes,
that opening scene, yeah.
Number 2 on this, Schindler's List.
Shit.
It a lot of distressing scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's Holocausty,
right?
So I think anything Holocausty is very horrifying.
Anything World War II era, for sure.
But not labeled a horror movie.
No.
This one I don't recall, but Requiem for a Dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes around the addiction,
mm-hmm.
right? Having an addiction is horrifying, I guess, to some folks.
Yeah, that one's on my list as well. There's some pretty intense scenes in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's deeply disturbing.
Yeah, there's a fridge that comes to life, like a refrigerator.
That's
yeah.
I think that's your stomach talking.
Well, that was the character's stomach talking in the movie. Yeah, and then the ending is pretty horrific for all involved.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. This one, I really felt like could be very horrifying. 127 Hours. This is the movie where the guy gets stuck in the canyon.
Yes.
And he has to lop off his own arm.
With a pocket knife.
With a freaking pocket knife, of all things. Ugh.
Yeah.
But he tries to survive drinking his own pee, basically.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You do. And that ran out. And that's when it forced him to do an unreasonable thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that scene when he does the act, that's straight out of a horror movie for sure.
And whenever, I think it was before he decided to commit to this thing, what he dreamt or hallucinated that he was back at home because he got the rock loose.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like he had a dream about it. That's horrifying too. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's in such a mindset.
Just when you think like all is good.
Yeah. Yeah. He got out. Yes. Yeah. Nope. Horrifying. And I didn't watch this one. I don't know what Irreversible. it contained a graphic and disturbing rape scene.
Well, yeah.
And, those are all horrifying. But
Yeah.
none of these, again, are horror by any means.
Right.
And I'd like to add, it wasn't on the list, but I thought of it.
Yes.
Talking through some of this stuff.
Go on.
Which was, it fell in the lines with like Jurassic Park, but I was thinking of like Tremors.
Tremors is, it's sometimes labeled a horror movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was the first one?
Mm-hmm.
It was labeled horror. Well, if
Yeah,
it was,
like
then I can't use it.
It's more like kind of the comedy horror type,
right?
But yeah, it's
Tremors
it's a
horror movie.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, I believe you.
I would say that.
Tremors. What, IMDb? Is that a good?
Sure, yeah. They have labels for things.
Where's it show? Here,
I don't know, man.
It says PG-13.
That is not a horror movie.
It's
usually
not
up at the top.
Up the top.
Yeah, right around there. The rating.
It doesn't say. It
Son
just
of
says,
a bitch.
Does that mean it's not a horror movie?
Right there. What does it say?
I don't know. Where are you looking?
Right where it says comedy, and right beside it, it says horror.
Ah, it's tagged. There it is. Yeah,
Yep.
Comedy horror. Yeah.
Done with it.
All right. Then I can't use that one. It is a horror movie.
It's a horror movie.
It's labeled horror.
You've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
IMDb
Tremors
said so.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's like, monster
Yeah.
type thing. So yeah, I say it's a horror movie.
I think so.
Kevin Bacon's in it.
7 separations of Kevin.
That's
Bacon.
right. Kevin Bacon. So yeah, my list then, we'll just take, Requiem for a Dream. Like I said, we'll take that one out of there.
Okay. I took one here.
RoboCop.
Yes.
So obviously there's quite a few pretty fucked up scenes in that. But the one that stands out as far as the horror movie is the dude that gets the toxic waste all over him. And he becomes quite a monstrosity until he gets run over by a car. Do you recall that man in the toxic waste?
I don't. I was thinking of the scene where RoboCop when he was human.
Yeah, when they shoot him up. Well, yeah, that's terrifying too.
I guess terrifying.
That scene, that's another one that I saw as a child, and that stuck with me.
Yeah.
But as far as like the horror, it's always the toxic man.
Toxic man
Gets the toxic waste, and he's all like.
The other one was like when the kid. There was a kid. I don't think it was the first RoboCop. It might have been second or third or something.
Yeah.
But the kid had the what the hell was the drug they used? I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget what it is.
But I remember like he being involved in him actually dying. I thought was horrific because he was. I don't know. I don't remember other movie out there that had a kid like his age portrayed that was maybe a villain and died. I guess
There's
I can't.
Probably
think
a lot out there, but
probably. But that was maybe the first time I experienced that kind of emotion, and that kind of was a little horrifying. Because I was a little younger than him in the movie when I watched.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like
with you. Yeah.
It's like around the same size and weight.
About the same measurement.
About the same measurement.
I got you. So Donnie Darko, which I guess is kind of gray area. You could consider it a horror movie. I don't know if I do, but there's definitely horror elements. Frank the Rabbit is pretty. I think he looks cool, but he could be pretty terrifying to people.
Okay.
Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Okay.
Khan. But there's a scene where the Khan puts brain eels into a couple of the crewmates. So they puts their helmets on. There's these little I don't know, creatures like earwigs, but they crawl up into their ear, and fuck with them a little bit.
Right.
That was kind of terrifying.
Okay.
Yeah. Toy Story 3, The Incinerator.
The Incinerator. Yeah.
I saw that on a bunch of different lists, so I added it. It's not one that I thought of on my own. Got to be honest with you.
I was thinking. I thought you were going to say the part where the boy, where
Sid.
No, well, those are horrifying scenes. Yes, he treats those dolls like shit.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say when kids grow up, they don't want their toys anymore.
Yeah, and I wasn't thinking that at all.
No.
But I respect
Yeah.
I respect that.
I'm a sensitive guy.
You are, yeah.
Yeah,
You're coming at it from a whole other angle, which I I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I don't I don't think of that.
I'm like an
usually.
onion. I'm like an onion.
Like an onion.
Yeah.
Just layers.
Layers.
And you make me cry. So yeah, the incinerator in Toy Story 3, that could be pretty
That
could be pretty intense.
Very nice.
For some viewers. The Matrix. So one scene in particular is when Neo is apprehended by Agent Smith. One of the first time. And his mouth kind of morphs shut. So he has no mouth.
Oh yeah.
And then they take the tracker bug and they insert it into his stomach, all in the same scene.
Yes.
A little intense.
Yeah. I thought of the same, like when you said that. What's the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger pulls out this fucking
Total Recall. Out of his nose, yeah.
Right out of his nose.
Yep.
Horrifying.
Get your asthmas.
Is that horror? Total Recall.
It could be.
Oh.
I think that's more like science fiction, but I mean, they go hand in hand.
But you're right. When he had his mouth shut,
yeah,
it looked pretty.
Right? Like, whoa.
Yes.
I remember seeing it for the first time. Like, whoa.
Whoa. Faces aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah. It was a little terrifying.
Yeah. Agreed.
Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Doc Ock. Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
The hospital scene. So Doc Ock is kind of out, I don't know, under anesthesia or some shit. But his tentacles come to life and then kill the doctors. It's a pretty intense scene. Could be horrifying for some.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
I
mean, it is a Sam Raimi movie, so
yeah.
Sam Raimi, of course, is a horror legend. So
is he a horror legend?
Horror legend. Evil Dead.
Legend. I got it.
He created Evil Dead.
Nice.
Yes.
I just watched the latest one of those.
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
I love it. And my final one here, Watership Down.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. So if you don't know what Watership Down is, it's an animated movie. Kind of, more of a kind of kids movie.
I
think
it's more like towards the adult
I
side.
mean, after watching it, yeah, but I think it was like it's more like kind of marketed toward as like a kids movie.
Well, you think of rabbits,
yeah,
right? Bunnies,
yeah,
basically.
But yeah, it's literally bunnies just getting killed and fucked up, and there's some blood, there's some gore, and it's all animated.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, no, it's definitely well done. It's just if you go into it not knowing what it is, boy,
it's horrifying.
Yeah,
it really is.
You're in for a surprise.
Yeah, agreed. That's a good list.
Yeah,
my list kind of sucked.
No,
it wasn't.
What do you mean? Yeah. Your list was great.
Thank you. All right.
I think the list that we found, the top 20 list, nah.
Yeah, well, it gave a lot of great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it's fair. Everyone has a different opinion. I'm sure the listeners will probably have their own scenes that they can think of where it's like, well, that wasn't a horror movie, but yeah, maybe that part of it, the part isn't the whole of the sum. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's just that one part was a little horrifying.
I think the moral of the story is you can find horror in anything. You can also find comedy in anything.
Yes.
Drama.
Yeah.
Action.
Yep.
You can find it all.
But maybe that's why these I don't know who puts out the title, like what genre it is, horror, comedy. What is it? The length of horror in it. So it's more horror than it is
not horror.
Not horror.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point. Who decides these things?
Who decides these things?
If you decide these things, let us know. Send us an email.
Yeah. Good point.
Blood, Gore, and Ghouls podcast at gmail.com. But that's all. That's all I got for that list. What else you got? Anything else?
I'm just reading chat here.
Oh, okay.
They have. I guess I mentioned. I don't know how long ago, but the Starship Troopers and.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's like science fiction, but there's definitely some.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Some moments
for sure.
Some moments in there.
I think it was like kind of sad parts more than horrifying. Maybe some sadness.
Some sadness.
Watership Down definitely has some sadness.
Oh yeah, that's
sad.
That's got the feels to it.
All the feels.
And
you got to watch Twisted Metal, by the way.
All right.
All right.
I'll watch Twisted Metal.
Yes.
When I get a chance.
Not like immediately.
Right now.
Like right now.
Starting now.
Wait, you're off work. You can watch it anytime you want.
Don't tell me what to do.
Fair. It's really good. You won't regret it.
All right, cool. But he's not going to be my favorite clown ever. Spoiler alert.
Oh, well, you have your favorites.
Yeah.
You know?
What if I watch it and I'm like, that clown sucked?
That's fine.
No,
I just don't think you're going to say it sucked.
No, I won't.
I think you're going to
I already love him from the games. So,
well. I've always played the motorcycle guy, so what is it? Grim? I think his name was Grim.
Might be. It's been a minute since I played any of this. I don't remember. Sweet Tooth always stood out.
I don't remember the plot.
The plot?
I don't think there was
one.
Is there a
plot to his games?
I don't think so.
Huh.
You just go into an arena, basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fuck shit up.
That's it. Horrifying.
They made a whole show about it.
They did.
Well
done show.
Well done.
Love it.
Well done. Just like this podcast.
Yeah, I think so. I had fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you? Thanks for having me. And did you have fun?
I had a little fun.
All right. I'll
I
take
had
it.
a mild amount of fun.
I'll take it.
No, it was a blast as always.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's going to wrap up another episode of Blood, Gore, and Ghouls. Be sure to follow on Instagram at Blood, Gore, and Ghouls _podcast, on Twitch at Ian Van Ghoul. Join the Ghoul Squad Discord, subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok at ian.vanghoul, and send us an email at bloodgoreandgoalspodcast@gmail.com. As always, all links can be found in the show notes. And you don't really do social media at all, so there's nowhere to find you.
No, I'd show up. I just show up in random places sometimes, and you'll be like, "The hell's Bumbeeno doing there?"
Yeah, there he is.
And that's just who I am.
Yeah,
like a magician.
That's right. When you're not on vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm always on vacation.
Always on vacation.
I feel like I'm always traveling or something.
Yeah, hard man to get.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry to you all. I'm sorry to everybody.
Don't apologize. You deserve it.
I know.
Each and every one. But you can be found on Project Skeptic Podcast.
True. Mostly there.
Where you are the co-host.
Yes. Yeah. And lots of great material there as well. And
oh yeah,
we just have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a great time.
Yeah.
It passes the time. I love it. And I actually listen to myself, which is odd. I'm sure
I do it too, just to
right?
Maybe
to improve or
yeah. Well, I mean, for mine, I do it to make sure nothing's fucked up,
right?
But also to improve and that pause was too long,
yeah.
Or I say something too often. Usually, I'm agreeing with the guests.
Okay,
I'm like, yeah, right on. Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, I said that. I just keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Okay,
so
yeah.
But yeah, so I listen to it to try and learn from mistakes. But yeah, I mean, I listen to other podcasts. I listen to Project Skeptic.
Like when did we start this? Was it like an hour?
Hour and 18 minutes ago.
Okay, so that's like a perfect time.
That's a sweet spot.
That's I feel, yeah. And when you're on like a drive, and I'm like you said, I'm on freaking driving places all the time. Mm-hmm. That is, it just makes the time pass by. Oh yeah, so fast, and you don't even realize it because you're just so
just in it.
You're in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It just feels like the trip just goes so much faster, and that's what I love about podcasts.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, check out the Project Skeptic Podcast. I'll throw the links in the show notes. But Bumbeeno, thank you again. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Always a great time.
Love you.
I love you. I love hearing your voice.
Nice.
You should. I was thinking that earlier. You should do some audio tapes.
Yeah.
You could go into that.
All right.
You have a very calm, soothing voice.
You should hear me whisper.
Oh,
like ASMR.
Whisper. All right, kids.
It's terrible.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
We're out of it. Until next week, I've been your host, Ian Van Ghoul, and you've been
the Bumbeeno.
Ooh, have a ghoulish week. and stay safe out there.
Peace.
We're gonna get you.